Hello there, good morning, welcome back to my channel. This is Louise from Louise's Lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, like and share with your friends. So today's video I'm doing an update on the mango seeds that I sowed a couple of weeks ago now. If you haven't seen the videos where I bought two different types of Bangladeshi mango from a Bangladeshi grocers. One was titled Giant Mango Fuzzy Am, which is the name of one of the varieties, Fuzzy. I put that across there. And the other one was the Amrapuli. So I put the name of that mango across there as well. And that's what we're going to be doing, an update on whether those seeds germinated and which ones did well, which ones didn't, and any hidden surprises. So start off with the giant mango Fuzzy Am. Giant because it was a pretty big mango. I'd never seen a mango that size. It was over a kilo in weight, and that wasn't the largest one in the box. I chose the ones that looked the freshest. There were bigger ones, but they looked like they had like black marks on them, looked like they were turning. So I thought I'll just stick to the freshest one. But it was a hefty size, you know, over a kilo in weight, quite expensive as well. They've been imported from Bangladesh. And, you know, I've tried lots of mangoes throughout the years, and I've tried growing different types. I've had Thai mangoes, Brazilian mangoes, Spanish mangoes, Pakistani mangoes, Indian mangoes, but never had the Bangladeshi ones. I'm not sure why. Maybe I've not come across them in the shop. And even when I visited Bangladesh loads of times, and I lived there for a while, back in the 70s, and maybe I did have that mango then but didn't know what the variety was, wasn't aware of it. So I thought I'd like to try and grow Bangladeshi mango. So this is one of them. This is the Fuzzy mango that I only got two of these mangoes because they were very expensive, and you can see it's got this lovely purple foliage. Now that will change to green as the leaves get bigger. And what I wanted to show you, I've actually got two in here. What I wanted to show you was in this pot as well. What I'll do is I'll take the camera off the stand and then I'll focus it into the pot so you can see what I'm talking about. So just put this down, just pause the camera. Okay, so just going to do a close-up of the base of this Fuzzy mango, and here you can see there's a stem. There's actually two stems, two separate stems there. So let me just get this dibber and I'll show you. So there's one and there's another. This one's leaf separate from that. So this Fuzzy mango has now got three stems coming out of its one seed. So this is what's called a polyembryonic mango. Poly means multiple, mono. If this was a single stem, it would be a monoembryonic. So I'm really pleased to find that out, because apparently polyembryonic mangoes, the stronger two, so this presumably is one of the stronger stems, and let's say for sake of argument that's another strong stem. Two will be clones of the mother pair of the parent plant, the parent tree I should say, the Fuzzy mango. So they will be identical. So these will grow into be copies of the mother tree. They'll be Fuzzy mangoes. But the weakest of the three will be a hybrid. It won't be a true copy of Fuzzly. It'll probably be a mixture of Fuzzly and another variety. And that's what these polyembryonic mangoes are. So you don't separate them at this stage. Eventually, when the seed has died back, you know, it's dissolved, because this is the food for this for these miniature saplings. These will provide food, so you don't need to fertilize them at this stage. Eventually, when they fall apart, each of these mangoes will have their own root system. Then you can separate them. Don't need to do that just yet. So yeah, very pleased that the Fuzzly mango has turned out to be a polyembryonic mango. And this is a separate mango here. That's also a Fuzzly mango. I only got 2, so that's just started to emerge now. And I've not planted them deeply. I mean, they are in a large pot. It's just that the seeds were very large, with them being a large mango. So very pleased with the Fuzzly mango, and I'll hopefully be able to grow this on. Apparently, clones are likely to produce earlier than say the hybrids. So if you get a normal mango and you just get a single stem coming up, then that mango would probably be 5 or 6 years before it actually flowers or fruits, providing you can keep it alive that long. However, clones, polyembryonic mangoes, the clones can flower and fruit at 2 years. So fingers crossed I can keep this alive that long. You know, I've not had much luck in the past with growing mangoes, and as I say, I've grown all different types. This is the first one that has had multiple stems. All the mangoes that I've tried to grow, Keat, Time mangoes, all of them have only produced a single you know, shoot, not multiple. So very happy that this has proven to be a polyembryonic. So I'll put that one to one side, and I'll show you this one. Now this is the Amrapali, the other mango that I got from the Bangladeshi grocers, also imported from Bangladesh. And at this stage, the leaves have now turned a lovely green, lovely glossy green. And I've got it in the same mixture. I've got it in coir compost, and it's so far it hasn't produced more than 1 stem, so I don't know. This one had only just produced those, and that came out, oh, it's been over a week now, maybe 10 days. So the 2 little ones appeared later. So maybe, you know, if this is polyembryonic, those will appear later. I don't know. So that's Amrapali. Now, it's not the only one that's germinated, because I got a box full of mangoes. So I'm going to show you the results of whether those succeeded in germinating. I'll just pop this one, move that to one side, and bring these in. So where I've had these are upstairs on a heat mat in these poly bags, and with wet tissue wrapped around them. So you can see that some of them have sprouted and desperately need a repot. And what I've done is I've prepared some coir compost, because that's all I'm going to be doing, is putting these ones that have sprouted into coir. I'll just bring the pots up and I'll show you what I've done. In good old Blue Peter fashion, prepared some earlier. So I've got just plain coir, and for those of you who are not familiar with what coir is, let me just move that out of the way. This is what it comes as, and it's a solid brick, dehydrated, And what I've done is I had another brick of this, put it in a bucket, and then literally one brick came up to, well, you can see the level there. That's how much it filled this bucket. So you get your brick, you sort of break it up. I pour hot water over mine because I want to make sure that it's sterile. So boiling hot water, and I left it overnight, and I just use this ladle to, you know, give it a good old mix, because I'm not going to use my hands because it was hot, you know. So just give it a good old mix. Didn't add anything else in there. I am going to use this compost for some other plants that I'm planning to pot up, but I'm not going to add anything into this. I will be adding it into the pots that I'm going to be using, you know, added nutrients. So just put that down. And so I've got my little pots here ready. So just move them out of the way, and then I'll show you the ones that have sprouted. So here we go. I'll just going to tip them out carefully. Don't want to damage them. So there you go. There's a nice one. Lovely purpley, sort of almost bronze looking leaves there. What that is on there. Let me just see what that is there. I don't know what that is on the end of the leaf. So the root system, that's a good root system there. So that will be, so what I'll do is I've got a little pot, say here, that's ready. I'm just going to sit it in there. So it's not going to be in the dead centre, but sit it in there. Just get a ladle. Tap that down. And that's potted up nicely. So no nutrients yet. The reason being, the seed will feed this, and that's the purpose. You know, you keep the seed on, you don't detach it, and that will dissolve, and that will supply food to this little sapling. And then when that's completely dissolved, and you'll see that the plant's growing, and you can check on the roots, then you can start to give it, you know, some kind of nutrients, some fertilizer. If by that time it's winter, I would hold back a little bit. Don't feed it during the winter months, because if you're here in the UK and you grow tropical plants, unless you've got them in like a, you know, like a grow tent or somewhere like that, you don't really want to encourage new growth because it'll be very weak. So let them just sort of rest during the winter months. Minimum amount of water, just keep the soil moist, not sopping wet. And then come spring, if you've got them through the winter, they'll start to put on new growth. You will see leaf drop. So what happens, mangoes tend to put new leaves out, and then they'll drop the lower leaves. So you'll always have like a bit of a bare stem with the leaves on top. And that's quite normal, as long as they're putting out new growth. They are susceptible to disease, such as anthracnose, root rot, fusarium wilt. There's all kinds of things that like to attack these plants. So it is important that when you're potting these up, make sure your pots are nice and clean. I've reused these pots. I've washed them, soapy hot water, nice and clean. The compost I've used is sterile. So if you're not using coir and you're using something else, what you can do is literally put the compost in a bowl and microwave it. Blast it on a high heat, and that will kill off any bacteria. Let it cool down. Obviously, don't pot your mango seedlings or other seedlings into hot compost, but let it cool down and, you know, you'll have nice sterile compost. So I've got, that's one, so that's one up. Now let me show you the others. So that's the tissue that they were wrapped in, nice and wet. And as I say, these were on a heat mat. So that one's not as developed, but you can see, you know, it's just sprouted. And there its roots, got nice lots of roots there. Okay, so that will be going in that little arrangement I've got down here. So, and there's the next one. Let's have a look. So these are just about 2 weeks that I've had them. They've not all been extracted from the seed coat at the same time. As I say, I bought a box of mangoes and we've sort of had one every day, you know, the family. And then I've just, you know, each time just taken the seed and wrapped it up in the wet tissue and put it in the bag, put it in this tray on the heat mat. And yeah, it's taken about 2 weeks. Some have sprouted earlier than others. So that's a nice one there. Ready sprouted. So pop that there. Put that to one side. Let's go for this one now. Now, this one's a strange one. So you can see there's quite a good root system. That's just wet tissue that's got caught up in the roots, but the roots are pretty good. However, look at this. It's just got, there's nothing on there. So it's growing, but it looks like something's had a go at the top. It might have been me. I might have accidentally knocked the growing tip when I was extracting it from the seed. And now we've, you know, there's nothing here. So there should be leaves there. However, there's a little bit of a, so this potentially will be the growing point. So I don't think this is polyembryonic. I think that what's happened is this has stopped growing for some reason. Although it's grown a length, it's not got any leaves. And maybe that's triggered it into putting out this, which you can see has got the beginnings of leaves. Sorry, I'm not focusing very well here. So you can see there a little bit of yeah, so unusual, that one. I'm not sure what to do, whether I should plant that up now or leave it on the heat mat for a bit longer. I will see. So I'll put that to one side there. And the next one, and some of them, as I say, are not as developed as others, so they might need to go back on the heat mat a bit longer. So this one here, so just, I think this is probably one of the last ones that I put in. A little bit of deterioration going on there, but I don't think it's going to harm the plant. That would naturally decompose anyway when you put it in the soil. It's not going to stay like this. So and the plant will feed off this seed. That's its food. But there you've got a little tiny growth point there. So that's good. Yeah, that's another one. So pop that in there. And then got this one. And that's a decent size. Look at that. That definitely needs to go in a pot. Sharpish. So nice root there. And ready for potting up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all in all, we've got 6 Amrupali mangoes, and we've got 2 Fazli mangoes. So that's good. You know, I've got a nice little collection here, and hopefully these Bangladeshi mangoes will survive. As I say, I've never grown the Bangladeshi variety before, and if you haven't seen those videos, please watch them. The mangoes themselves they tasted lovely. They weren't fibrous, deliciously sweet, just the right, you know, they were ripe. They weren't underripe, they weren't overripe, exactly how they should be. So thank you for watching. I will be doing another video after this, because since as I got the compost out, I might as well do some potting up. So please keep an eye out for my next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.